Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. Mike, one of the senior developers from 11th Hour Games, held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, which means I get to bring you Dev Chat 29. As always, Mike answered lots of great questions and gave us one pretty exciting leak. As always, I will share my thoughts. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to support smaller channels. All right. Let's jump right into this. Let's start off with some questions I asked. 4 questions that I asked. And I'm going to let Mike ramble for a little bit. He's good at this.
There we go. So, Aaron, I'm sorry. All the same questions you asked me, whatever day it was a couple days ago, I still can't answer.
Come on.
And they're all for related to dev blogs that will be coming out. But the question is just to go over the legendary color, unrevealed. Sorry. There are only so many gaps in color palettes available where it still will provide contrast and stand out enough. So, you know, you can probably narrow the search down yourselves pretty close.
Hot pink.
I think it's unlikely we would change other existing colors to make room for it. And so we did have a color picked out, like forever ago when we first started. And it'll likely be something pretty similar, but it might get a little hue shift. Only way to get legendaries from Eternity Cache, it's complicated. 8-4 in November. I would, unfortunately, I've got to give the same answer I give every time before a patch comes out, before we announce the release date, is that the date will be relatively consistent with previous patch timelines. So whatever that is, roughly 3 months.
Come on. One more. So far, I asked, what's going to be the legendary color? And they won't tell us. But the idea is that it's probably going to be some form of pink. At least that's the going joke right now. The other question I asked is the only way to obtain legendary items through the Eternity Cache. And what did Mike say? It's complicated. He didn't say no, but that is for sure going to be one way. Shouldn't say for sure because I'm not 100% sure. I'm 95% sure that is going to be one, if not the only way for you to obtain legendary items. I asked if the next update's coming in November. Mike said he's not going to tell us, but we're pretty sure we're getting it in November. And then my last question.
Oh.
Give him a sec. Just almost died.
There we go. Get out, run. Can you share anything on crafting changes? Reimer can't answer. There's not really much we can share. It's not done yet is the problem. So like this is the classic story. We like to sort of reveal and share everything we can. Give as much information as possible just to, because we know you guys love to give feedback and we love the feedback we get from you, and having that as soon as possible is really valuable. However, we're still not even through the internal playtest phase of it to see if we want to make any major changes. The big thing I would say about the crafting changes,
here we go, is
the main thing we're trying to remove and alleviate from the system is the sudden your crafting's just done. So like there needs to be positive and negative possible outcomes for each crafting event attempt. So like you go to craft and you say, hey, I want to try and add this affix to the item, or I want to try and reroll this stat on the item. There needs to be and we plan to have a positive and negative outcome for that. So like right now the positive outcome is success, and the negative outcome, oh my goodness, these guys are beefy. Done though. and the negative outcome is fracture. The negative outcome is a little too harsh right now, and the positive outcome is just what you expect to happen in a lot of cases, and there's critical success, so there's a little bit of extra positive outcome, but and so the main goal is to remove that relief or disappointment as the only emotional states generally that show up. So you either get relief that it did what you thought it should do, or disappointment in that it didn't do what you thought it should do. And so we want to make the state rather a little bit more of like when something bad happens, it's still bad and you're still disappointed, but it's not okay, well the item's just done forever no matter what first bad thing that happened.
Mike, I appreciate you trying to answer the questions. I know they are juicy topics. And the reason why I asked these 4 questions is because we know we are getting legendary items. We're getting the Eternity Cache. They're going to have a different color. And they've told us that they're going to be updating crafting for 084. Thanks for the try, Mike. Mike, is there any plans right now for guilds or clans or something like that for LE?
So we do like the idea of having guilds and clans and things like that. Mostly as a way to interact with and organize players that you like playing with. So just like a really quick and easy way of like, instead of, a new friend joins the game. So you've got like 5 people that are playing together, and you get your buddy to join in, and instead of having them come in and like have to add each person individually manually, just add them to the guild, and suddenly they're part of the whole group of friends. You know, it's a lot easier, it's a lot quicker. So like just right from that, there's already benefits of having a guild system.
Agreed.
Now we don't want to make people feel like they're forced to. Thank you very much. We got another one, non-stomach fluff and T1 sub gift to Rob Goblin. I like that name, Rob Goblin. It's like Hobgoblin. Just Rob. Anyways, we don't want people to feel like they are forced into playing in a guild in order to experience the game or like finish a build or anything like that. I could see there being some sort of like, I don't know, this is just off the top of my head, like an earnable MTX for being in a guild that does something. I don't know, you know, like I could see something like that. I wouldn't want to put like power behind it, just because it does create a bit of an onus to join a guild, and we know some people don't like that. So
Mike said it, earnable MTX if you join the official Action RPG Guild. Mike, what can you tell us about dungeons that we will be getting for 084?
Dungeons are going to hold a few roles. They're not just going to be for one thing. I can't really go to... This is another one of those things, like, I know we kind of gave out a lot of information that really begs a lot of questions about, like, okay, what does that actually mean? How is this going to interact with that? What? And there's a lot of questions that come along with what we've said, and it may have been good to have a little more information ready to go before we did that. But the...
Give us something.
Dungeons are going to tie into a few different systems. They're going to be accessible a little bit earlier in the game. It's something that we... it is tying into endgame systems. It's like... It'll be for more advanced players initially. Like, okay, that's a bad way of putting it. Everyone will be able to interact with it just fine. There will be features there that will help more advanced players enjoy the game more as well. Yeah.
That's a start. You'll be able to access it early on, and even though he didn't mean to say it, it's going to be for more advanced players. Follow-up question, what is a dungeon compared to existing content?
It'll be like compared to an entire like monolith island, each dungeon will be shorter, like each monolith timeline, a little bit more bite-sized, specific reward goals. Yeah, that's eye gouging enough.
That helps. Loved this question. Loved the answer. Mike, go.
But will the multi-transform shapeshifting support be form to form or form to human to form? You can do either. So, yeah, you can go straight form to form. There is... So, yeah, I can say this. There's a node on... So all three of the trees...
Leak.
Each have 2 nodes. So there's 6 nodes in total. And if you've taken any of those nodes... So say you have... So there's a node on Werebear that says... I don't know which skills they are, so I'm going to give an example that is almost for sure going to be wrong. So this is not what it says in-game, but is an example of the style of thing it's going to say in-game. So it'll say, like, in Werebear, it'll say, the next time you use, or when you use Warcry, shout, in bear form, your human form ability is replaced with... another ability name, and that ability, what it does is it's Barkskin. This one's Barkskin. Actually, no, it's Barkskin. And yeah, Bear to Spriggan is Barkskin. So your human form is replaced with Barkskin. What Barkskin does is it casts Thorn Shield on you and up to 2 other nearby allies, I think, something like that. And then it also transforms you into Spriggan form. So you get like an ability that is relevant and useful in the form you're transitioning into, and thematic based on the form you're transitioning out of. It's a little confusing, yeah. So it's just a way to like shift from form to form. So you're going to you're like, okay, I like my rotation for this build is I'm gonna shout, and then I'm gonna switch from Bear to Spriggan. And the switch from Bear to Spriggan, the reason we give it a different ability and a different name is just so that there's something else it's doing instead of just straight shifting you. So it's like, it shifts you, but also shifts you and gives you something that's gonna be useful in the form you're going into.
If anybody was watching the chat when Mike was explaining this, everyone is like, what? Huh? That's so confusing. But I mean, it makes sense, right? Basically, you're going to be given a buff, an ability when you use a different form, because they're trying to make it where, you're not just a werebear. You're a werebear, and then when you need to, have ranged, if you need to buff your allies or whatever it is, you switch into Spriggan or you switch into the third transform. So just like how you can have, a mage that focuses on lightning, you can also have a mage that focuses on lightning, fire, cold, right? You can have like an elemental mage. And that's kind of the same thing with Druid. Instead of just having a werebear, you can have a 3-form build. Going to be very interesting. All right, everyone, we have come to the end of Dev Chat 29, and Mike saved this leak all the way till the end. It's going to feel like a new skill, even though it's not a new skill because they've been working on it for 2 years. And we can't wait to get it into our hands. As always, Mike, thank you for doing these Friday Q&As. Always so much information. The community truly loves it. If you haven't heard, I have officially started a Twitch streaming on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Having so much fun with the ARPG community, playing lots of Last Epoch. First link in the description below if you'd like to go there in support. If you haven't had a chance to join the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. We're now over 1,200 members, great conversations every day. The idea is to create a gaming community that could jump from game to game together, so you never start the server alone. Link for that Discord is also in the description. I hope you all enjoyed Dev Chat 29. Mike, take it away.
Okay, here we go. You guys have been patient. You've been fantastic. Here is a first look at a rework of a long-time skill that is, new question. Let me answer that first. Oh, wait. This is a look at the the base version of, no, it's not Tempest Strike. This is a rework for Entangling Roots. So Entangling Roots is going to be A Druid locked skill, actually. And yeah, it sends out a large wave that hits everything and wraps any enemies caught in it, and they're immobilized, and the dots applied to them, and yeah. Yeah, the tech for the roots is pretty brand new and looks amazing. And I'm being told the visuals have been updated since then. This was a video I got given this morning by our VFX artist, so I think it might be the default, the most up to date ones, unless it's changed since then. But yeah, this is it is. I mean, everything's a work in progress until the patch comes out. But yeah.